So here we have an example related to insertion sorting. So let's assume we have an array which contain 3, 2, 7, 5, 15, 19 and 12. So what we do in insertion sorting is that we always assume the first item is a sorted item. So we start by a second item. So we check by a second item. If the second item is lower than the first, so we will replace second by a 1. If the second item is greater than the first item, so we don't need to replace it. So in this example we clearly see that the second item is lower than the first, so we have to replace it. So we did replace it. Then we will look same for the second and the third element. Since the third element is not lower than the second one, so we don't need to replace it. Then we will check for the third and the fourth element. Since the fourth element is lower than the third element, so we will replace it by a fourth element. Then we will check for the fourth and the fifth element. Since the fifth item of an array is not lower than the fourth one, so we don't need to replace it. Then we will check for fifth and the sixth element. Since the sixth element is lower than the fifth element, so we will replace it like this. Then we will check for the sixth and the seventh item, and we clearly see that the seventh item is lower than the sixth, so we have to change their positions. Now you can clearly see that we have an array which contain 2, 3, 5, 7, 9, 12 and 15, and this form is basically a sorted form. So in insertion sort we do sort an array by using this kind of phenomena, this kind of process. I hope you get my point. Thanks a lot.